So we're continuing to talk about autobiography today, and we're working under the assumption that you've completed one of these planners, and there are 6 of them, okay, but we just work with one at a time. So after you complete one of these planners, okay, and by completing I mean you've answered each of these questions, you're going to use your writing notebook, or at least a blank piece of lined paper, and you're going to get started writing about your family, okay? And this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to title it My Family. You can give this section any name that you want, but I'm going to call it My Family. Now there are some specific things you need to know for when you're writing. Number 1, I want you to write on every other line because it's much easier to read that way. Okay, so sometimes I started here, so you're going to start writing here. Sometimes I draw arrows on the lines next to where I will be writing because that will remind me to write on every other line. Okay, that's the first thing I need you to know. The second thing I need you to know, we're going to be writing in paragraphs. Okay, and what is a paragraph? A paragraph is something that we find in our reading or something that we create in our writing that's all about a certain topic. And the topic in this paragraph, as you can probably guess, is going to be my family. And the way I teach 3rd graders to make a paragraph is you take 2 fingers, okay, by the line that you're going to be writing on, and where this other finger, the second finger ends, is where your paragraph's going to start. And you can actually draw a box right around where the lines on your page are. You can kind of see them here through the paper. Okay? Because I did not prepare paragraph paper for you. I really want you to learn how to make your own paragraphs. Okay? And now, as you get used to this, do you have to draw this box around what you're doing? No. You'll be able to see the shape. Okay? And does your paragraph have to fill this whole box? No. Okay, can it fill this whole box? Yes. Yes, it certainly can. All right. However, this is the shape that you're going to be creating when you write. Looks like kind of a step, almost. And I did that by my 2 fingers here to get that shape. Okay? And so when I write, I'm going to start right here on this line, and I'm going to look at my first question. Where were you born? Okay, I was born in Bangor, Maine at EMMC. I already wrote a sentence for that, and if you already wrote a sentence, you can certainly just copy your sentences over if you want to. But before I write that, I want to say, maybe I'm going to say, hello. My name is Jessica. And maybe you want to add your middle name, your last name in there. You can do that. Okay? I almost wrote here. Did you see that? I almost slipped up, but I'm going to write here. I was born in Bangor, Maine, at Eastern. And see how I'm writing it out here for my actual writing? I'm writing it. I'm not just writing the initials. Eastern, Maine, Medical Center. And I might put in parentheses EMMC. And you try to write neatly so that someone else can read it. Period. Make sure you get periods on the end of your sentences. We are going to be editing this. Okay, we are going to be going back and editing it. So if it's not perfect right now, don't worry about it. Next question. When were you born? Well, I don't want to talk about that one right now. But most of you will talk about it. Do you have any interesting stories from when you were born? Okay, and I'm not going to write any interesting stories. Why did your parents give you your name? Well, I would have to talk to my mother a little bit more about that, but I can write my parents. See how I'm writing a complete sentence here? My parents named me Jessica, and I can put this in quotation marks if I want to, because They liked that name, which I do know. My mom definitely liked it, and my dad liked it. They liked that name. And I can say my name means, so maybe you know what your name means, wealth. And I'll put that right in quotation marks. Oops, my name means wealth. And then I'm going to look back at my organizer, and you can check on the ones that you're doing, and maybe you want to switch the order. You can. Did you or do you have any nicknames? My nickname. My nickname, not nickname. Nickname is Jess. My nickname is Jess. All right, and then I would just kind of check off and keep kind of staying on track. Okay, but I don't want to get I don't want to limit you just to these questions, because maybe you have other things you want to talk about with your family. All right, and if you do, you will write them in this paragraph here. Okay, now if you get all the way down to the bottom of the page, all you have to do is go on to a new page. Let's just turn it over. If it's the same topic, you don't have to start 2 fingers in over here. You just start on the edge. It would just be in a box that you would start in. Okay, it would just kind of like it just continues down here. All right, until the topic of family is finished. All right, and that's kind of what I'm looking for each of these organizers. All right, so you've got the organizer. I want to see your organizer turn into something with a paragraph that's written every other line with a nice title, okay, and with your facts in your paragraph. And it should be your writing in there, your voice. You know, don't copy my writing exactly. You think about what your style. You know, maybe you don't want to say, hello, my name is Jessica. Maybe you want to say, hi there, can anyone hear me? You know, maybe you want to start, maybe you have some idea of how you want to start. Or maybe you want to say, knock knock, who's there? Jessica. Jessica who? Jessica Dunton, that's me. Maybe you want to start with a joke. So those are all things that you can decide how you want to do in your own writing. Sometimes when I write, I don't know exactly how I want to write something, so I just start writing it. I start kind of pouring it out onto the page. And then, after I've written it, I go back, I reread it, I think about it some, and that's when I start to add in those other cool pieces, like maybe adding a joke at the beginning or something interesting like that. So this is what we're going to work on today, starting to create paragraphs for each of our organizers, for our autobiographies.